Hi, welcome back to Maths Masters. This is addition session 13 where we're going to be adding three one-digit numbers. Okay, so what we can think about when we're adding three one-digit numbers is the commutative properties of addition. So we can move the numbers around. Doesn't matter, does it, what order we add the numbers in, that we will still get the same answer. So, and you can practice that, you can try it. Try adding them in different ways and see if you still get the same answer. So here we've got 3, add 5, add 7. And we want to find out what that will make all together. So we can do it in the order that's there, but can you see with those numbers a more efficient, reliable, quick way of doing it? Have a think about that, pause it, look at the numbers. How could you move those numbers around to make it more efficient? Okay, so I hope you've seen that using number bonds, we can get 7 and 3 together. If you look, the 7 and the 3 would go together to make 10. So we're regrouping to make 10. Again, we're moving them around. So we'd start off with 7 and 3 because that makes 10. Add on the 5, which is easier to do. 10 and 5 is 10, and 5 is 15. Okay, so I've looked for numbers that go together to make 10 first. Okay, so your turn. Have a go at doing this one. Let's have the numbers 4, add 3, add 6. Which numbers will you start with first? So we've got 4 and 3 and 6. Can we change the order we add them to make it easier? Why are we allowed to change the order? What is it about addition, about the numbers in an addition sentence? When we add together any groups of objects, what is it about them? Do we have to add in the order that they are presented? Can we move them around to make it easier for us to do it? Okay, so pause, have a think. What are you going to do with these numbers? Are you going to keep them in that order, or are you going to move some around? What do we think? Okay, so hopefully some of you have seen that you're going to move them around and add 6, add 4 first. Why? Why add 6 and 4 first? Why? Pause it and talk about that. Okay, 6 and 4 goes together, you can see, and it makes 10. We've got a number bond that goes together to make 10. So 6 and 4 is equal to 10. 10 add 3 is 10 and 3, which is 13. Okay, so we found that number bond first, changed it around to make it easier to add together. Okay, one more, try this one. 8, add 2, add 6. Which numbers are you going to start with? Are you going to move any of the numbers around? What do you think? Pause it, have a go at that one. Okay, so 8 add 2 is 6. I wouldn't move it around because I'm looking for number bonds. I've got 8 and 2 goes together to make 10. So I can move that. I'm going to keep that where it is. So 8 add 2 is equal to 10. Add the 6 on is equal to 10 and 6, which is 16. Okay. In the activity session today, if you go on more in the description section for the video, you will find some activities where you can practice your adding three one-digit numbers. Okay, so let's have a look at a couple more together and see if we can bring in the bar model as well to help us. Okay, so we're going to have bananas on a tree. has got 7. This one has got 6. And this one has got 4. I'm sure they should be more palm looking in their style. But anyway, so 7 on this one, 6 on this one, and 4 on that one. How many bananas are on the trees altogether? Are you going to keep the numbers in that order? Are you going to move them around? If you're going to move the numbers around to add them, why? Why can you do that? And why are you moving them? Pause it, off you go. Okay, so 7, 6 and 4. Well, looking at these numbers, 6 and 4 goes together to make 10. So I'm going to move it around and add 6 and 4 together first to make 10. Then add the 7 on, which would make 10 and 7, which is 17. Okay. Okay, your turn now. Actually, I'm going to show you first and you can have a go. So 7, 6 and 4 equals 10. We could put this into a bar model. So if we have 7 and 6, remember on the bar model we want the bars to be proportionate to the numbers they represent. So 7's bigger, slightly bigger than 6, and 4's the smallest bar. Question mark. I've got the brace to show the bit we're trying to find out. I'm doing 7 add 6 add 4. And I can work out, I'm doing 6 add 4 is equal to 10, add 7 is equal to 17. Another way of drawing the bar model, you often see it like this. Rather than using the brace, you can have it like this. You're trying to find out what it totals all together. So you can draw a bar. This is the bar we want to find out what is the total of these 3 amounts all together to be the same. And that makes you see that it's addition. So we can say 6 and 4 is 10 and 7 is equal to 17. And so the number there is 17. Okay, this time you're going to have a turn. I'm going to show you the bananas on the tree. And you're going to work out how to calculate this using a bar model. Okay, so there's 5 on the first one, 7 on the second one. We've got 5, 7 and 5. How many bananas have we got all together? Okay, pause it and off you go. Okay, how many bananas have we got all together? Well, we want to find out what we've got all together, so we can use a bar model. What we're trying to find out, well, what is 5 and 7 and 5? So we're doing 5 add 7 add 5 is equal to question mark. I'm going to add 5 and 5 first. I'm going to move it around. Why? Because 5 and 5 are number bonds that make 10. 10 add 7 is equal to 17, and we have got 17 is the same as, it's equal to 5, 7 and 5. Okay. The next one, we've got a swim contest, and we've got some children have scored some points in the swim contest. Now Miss has been a little bit forgetful. The first child she knows who came to her scored 2. The second child she knows scored 8, and the third one who came to her, she can't remember what they scored, but she knows the person who was giving out the scores said it came to 14 altogether. Okay, so I know that I've got 14 altogether on the bar model. We know someone scored 2, we know someone scored 8. What is that missing number there? So we can use our number bonds to help us here. So we're saying 2 add 8 add something is equal to 14. 2 and 8 is 10. So what do we add to 10 to get to 14? 10 add 4 is equal to 14. So the missing score is 4. Okay. So I would like you to have a turn. This time, there are 3 people who do the swim race. And the first one, this time Miss is told 15 is the score altogether. The first person she came to scored 6. The next one was 3, but we don't know what the third person scored, but we know altogether they scored 15. How can we work that one out? Pause it and have a go. Okay, so this time what we're looking at is 15 is equal to 6 add 3 add something. So that is our missing number. On a bar model, we could see we've got 15 as the whole, made up of 6 and 3 and something else. So how are we going to find this out? Well, what have we got so far? What do we know? Well, 6 add 3 is equal to 9. So 9 add something is equal to 15. So what I will do is count on. So I know that 9 and 1 makes 10, and 10 and 5 makes 15. So 9 add 1 add 5 is equal to 15. So what the missing score is the 1 and the 5. So they also scored 6. The third person scored 6. So I'm using my number bonds to help me there. 9 and 1 is going to take me up to 10, and then I can add 5 on. So I'm regrouping to make 10 again. Okay. Last ones. Using the symbols. So we've got this is less than this. Or we've got this is greater than this. Or we've got equal to. Make these addition sentences correct. 9 and 7 add 1. Is it more than, less than? Is it equal to this? 8 add 6 add 2. Is it more than, less than 3 add 3 add 7. And 5 add 2 add 5. Is it more than, less than, or equal to? 4 add 6 add 2. Okay, pause it, have a go at those. Okay, so working them out. 9, 7 and 1. I'm going to change this around. I'm going to do 9 and 1 is 10. Add 7, that makes 17, that one. 4 and 6 goes together to make 10, so I'm going to add those first. Add on the 5 would make 15. So 17 is greater than 15. Here, 8 add 6 add 2. I'm going to add the 8 add 2 to make 10. Then add the 6 on, so that makes 16. 3 and 7 makes 10. Add 3 on makes 13. 16 is greater than 13. 5 add 5 is 10. Add on the 2 makes 12. 4 and 6 makes 10. Add on the 2 is equal to 12 as well. So 12 add 12, they are equal to each other. Okay, make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on so you know when the next session is coming up. Hashtag your work, Marvellous Maths Masters, hashtag Maths Masters. Look in the See More section, get the activities to complete for this session. This is the end of year 2. So now all this learning that you've been doing, practice, practice, practice to become a marvellous maths master so that you are confident, efficient and quick and secure in your knowledge to move on into Key Stage 2, into those year 3, 4, 5 and 6 learning. Anything that you need to go over again, practice, practice, practice. Remember, if you learn something, practice it, then you will master it. Okay. And the next session we will recap the learning and then we will move on. Okay, and I'll see you for the next session. Goodbye.